The macronutrients. These are the basic nutrients found in the food we eat. Macronutrients are fats, carbohydrates, proteins, fiber and water. From these basic building blocks, the human body creates the substances necessary for growth, survival and movement. After ingestion, all carbohydrates are reduced to their simplest form, glucose. Glucose that is not immediately used to produce energy is first stored in the liver, and then in the muscles in the form of glycogen. When glucose can no longer be stored as glycogen in the muscles, the sugars are converted to fatty acids, and stored in the adipose tissue. Sweet foods contain simple sugar called sucrose. This sugar is composed of one molecule of glucose, and one molecule of fructose. But fructose cannot be converted into glycogen for the muscles, so it is immediately stored as fat. It is more convenient for the body to transform carbohydrates that exceed energy requirements into fat instead of glycogen. This process is mainly stimulated by simple sugars, which are absorbed more quickly, leading to a rapid rise in blood sugar levels. So, to avoid blood sugar spikes, if you eat foods with a lot of sugar, combine them with fiber, fat or proteins. Why is it better to avoid glycemic spikes? Because insulin, the hormone responsible for lowering blood sugar after a meal with carbohydrates, also promotes the transformation of excess glucose into fat by stimulating the production of triglycerides. Eating foods in the right order positively influences peak blood glucose. To make the passage of glucose into the blood more difficult, it is best to eat vegetables first, then pasta, meat with cheese, and fruit and sweets last. In order to assimilate protein, the body burns more calories than it needs to burn fat. Protein foods can also contribute to greater satiety. Nevertheless, fat remains a vital source of energy and other essential nutrients. Apples and carrots can help you lose weight. Raw carrots are rich in insoluble fiber, while apples contain pectin, a soluble fiber. Both help to keep you feeling full and reduce the total number of calories taken in. The apple, eaten at the end of a meal, is also anti-carcinogenic for the teeth. If we take in more calories than we burn, we store fat and gain weight. Whereas if we burn more calories than we take in, fat deposits decrease and we lose weight. To find out if you are eating more calories than you need, you should first know your daily energy expenditure, weigh the food you eat, and then count the calories. How many people, actually, do this for more than 3 days? The truth is that it is not always possible to calculate the weight of food and its calories. Therefore, it is better to use food portions that you can calculate by eye or by hand. One of the ways to eat a balanced diet, without counting calories and weighing food, is the healthy eating plate. It is possible to divide the healthy eating plate into smaller, separate plates, as long as the indicated proportions are respected. The importance of the right proportions of foods is essential, as is the correct combination of the foods we eat. At each main meal, lunch and dinner, the plate can be divided into 3 sectors. For dinner, you can reduce carbohydrates in favor of vegetables and proteins. One day a week you can make an exception, and eat some higher calorie foods. This will keep your metabolism and mood up. Here are some foods that should be present in breakfast. Complex carbohydrates, such as whole grain cereals, oats, spelt flakes, quinoa or wholemeal bread. Protein sources such as eggs, Greek yogurt, low-fat cheese or skimmed milk. Fresh fruit such as bananas, apples, berries, citrus fruits. Hydration with water, tea or coffee, without sugar. At breakfast, it is better to keep the glycemic curve as low as possible by replacing the classic sweet breakfast with cereals or snacks with a salty breakfast with protein and fiber. If you can't avoid cornflakes and snacks for breakfast, combine their simple carbohydrates and sugars with fiber, such as 1 to 2 teaspoons of oat bran. The hand diet is a method of measuring the portions of food you eat, based on the size of your hand. There are no special dietary restrictions, and no calorie calculations are made. The aim is to learn to eat by eye, managing portions, without having to weigh food. Portions can be part of the health plate. An even more simplified diet may require: reduce the usual portions of food. Eliminate high-calorie foods. Add more fiber into your daily diet. Chew slowly. Eating more, and therefore increasing protein intake, in order to increase muscle mass, is only useful if done in combination with intense aerobic and weight-bearing exercise. 2 teaspoons of milk powder and a pot of yogurt can be an option for maintaining muscle mass, provided it is combined with specific weight training.